Hello, everybody. Welcome to Two Mics and No Script, where we talk about any and everything, and it's all unscripted, raw action. So please enjoy the video. Don't be scared to drop a like and subscribe and comment. And let us know what you thought about the video. Thank you. All right, we are back live.
Part 2 of Costa Rica.
Zack's crazy Costa Rica.
So yeah, I left off. I ended up at the Hertz. Okay. Because I had heard of Hertz before, but I didn't realize it was like their cab service down there, or they used it like that.
Yeah, when you said that, I thought it was a fucking like a gas station or something like that.
No, Hertz is like, it was almost like a travel velocity. I don't know. Anyways, talking to them, I told them what the fuck was going on. This guy, I'm talking to him. I used their phone to call this number my dad had given me. I'm like, hey, I'm down here, blah, blah. Come get me, and they're like, and this is the guy from the embassy. He's like, oh no, we don't come get you. I'm like, what? He's like, unless somebody's been shot or killed, we don't come get you. You got to kind of like figure it out.
Oh no.
But as this is kind of happening, I look across the street. I see the truck that the guy has like going down here for all this shit. I see that truck, and guess what's parked in front of the pawn shop that this guy also owns as a front. And I'm thinking, like, oh fuck, that's the truck, the hitman, like the whole thing. Yeah. I'm just like, what the fuck? Oh no, I'm freaking out. So like, get me the fuck out of here. So, anyways, I get with the cabbie or whatever. I'm telling my whole story. He's like, dude, that's fucking crazy. Like, oh my god, I feel so sorry.
English, does he?
Well, no, he spoke English. He's pretty well spoken. And he ended up buying me a beer at like a gas station.
Here, buddy,
he's like, dude, I'll buy you a beer. I'm sorry you had a bad experience. So, anyways, again, the drive is like at least an hour to the airport. So, we're going on. I'm drinking this beer or whatever, and there's a car broke down on the side of the road. He's like, I want to ask if they need help. I'm like, dude, I don't trust nobody. Fuck that. So it ends up being a German guy, okay, driving this pickup truck that is taking a Canadian back to the airport. So the Canadian needs a ride to the airport. And he's like, oh, come on in here. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I thought it was a big setup, dude. I was so paranoid at this point. So then I start telling this Canadian dude my whole story. He's like, oh, fuck. He's like, do you want to talk to your parents? I'm like, yeah, that'd be fucking cool, wouldn't it? And he's like, do I have a satellite phone? I'm like, what? So I grab his phone. He hands it to me. I fucking...
Yeah, dude.
And my dad answers. And I was like, Dad. He's like, Zach? I was like, yeah. He's like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, where are you right now? I was like, dude, I'm in a cab on the way to the airport. And we picked up this Canadian hitchhiker. I don't know what's going on. He has a satellite phone. I'm talking to you now. And he's like, did you kill that guy? I'm like, I didn't fucking kill nobody. I just got the fuck out of there because he knew the situation.
Yeah.
He's like, how'd you get out of there? Like, you killed that dude. I'm like, I didn't kill nobody. I got the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this, that, and the other is how I'm talking to you. He's like, well, the FBI's down there looking for you. I'm like, excuse me? He's like, yeah, like, you're being held hostage. Like, they're down there looking for you. I'm like, well, I'm fucking on the way to the airport. So I guess they went to that place I didn't want to mention, and they were showing my picture around, and the bartenders and stuff like, oh, we recognize him. We don't know what the fuck he was staying. It was literally like right behind it.
Yeah.
And so anyways, fast forward, I get to the airport, and I had like some dirty clothes, but then like I just threw them away because I was like, dude, I fucking stink, dude.
Yeah.
I hadn't showered in a few days. I've been hiding in the fucking side of a mountain and shit. And so I go up to a little kiosk thing wherever to get my ticket, and I tell them like, hey, I'm here for this flight. And like, oh, that flight doesn't leave till tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, I know. I was like, I got robbed. It's a whole thing. Call this number. And I gave them that plane card. So they go to the counter behind them, and like on the phone, they're looking back at me like, oh my God. And they're like, sir, we are so sorry, but you're going to be on the next flight out of here. It leaves in 30 minutes. I'm like, thank fucking God.
Yeah, help, brother.
So I went to the gate and or terminal, whatever you want to fucking call it. And I'm sitting there just waiting. Again, I was smart enough to keep my passport on me. And like, they're military out there. it's weird. Like, you can't trust the police down there. You know, it's
no,
like, you know, like even if I was down there, if I was down where I was and I went, like, oh, police here, like, Americans, they have $10,000. So now they're gonna start extorting my parents. So, anyways, he came and checked my passport, my ticket, and all that shit, and then he got on the radio saying whatever. I guess maybe he went to confirm that I made it there. Yeah, because they knew what the fuck was going on. Got on that fucking plane, dude. Oh my god, dude.
Easy back home.
And then but when I landed in Atlanta, they're like, okay, everyone go this way. Your luggage is over here. Yeah. And I was like, what? Hey, I ain't got no luggage. He's like, you don't have no luggage, and you're coming from a different country, basically. And he's like, oh. I was like, dude, I got fucking robbed. He's like, oh, well, go over here. I was like, okay. So I went and sat over here for a minute, and then I talked to some people. And then I sat there and waited for a couple hours. Then they eventually pulled me back to a back room in the airport. Okay, imagine Atlanta's already a city, all right? Yeah. So they pull me in these back rooms, and an FBI agent comes to talk to me. And I talked to him for a few hours and tell him everything about when out. But it's funny how the only thing they were really concerned about was I told them, like, hey, they spilled like cocaine or something all of my drugs. And they're worried about the drug thing. I was like, dude, I don't know if it was drugs or not. Like, we smoked weed. That's all I fucking do. I smoke some fucking pot. But they said they put drugs on my fucking shit, so I left everything. You know, laptop, brand new skateboard, all these clothes. I told him everything, and he's like, all right. He's like, well, are you hungry? I was like, dude, I just want to go home. I just want to get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So, they're like, all right, you go here. This is your flight back to Richmond or Newport, wherever the fuck the flight took me to. Because I was still living in Outer Banks at the time, and the girl I was dating at the time, she ended up picking me up from wherever I landed. But the flight there, or before I got on that flight back to Richmond or wherever, I was asking people for cell phones. Like, hey, can I call my family? You know, some people are like, But this guy came out of nowhere. He's like, oh, you need a phone? Here, use mine. I called my family. Like, hey, I made it back to the States. I talked to the FBI. Like, I don't know. They're worried about drugs that maybe didn't exist. They're not really worried about what actually happened.
No, bastards.
But whatever, you know.
Yeah.
They probably thought I was involved in some weird shit. You know, they don't know. So this guy's like, hey, you need a phone? I was like, yeah. So I call him, like, let him know what's up. Like, hey, I'm back. I'm getting ready to fly back to wherever from Atlanta.
Yeah.
But that same guy that let me borrow the phone, he was only a couple seats ahead of me, and I think he was an air marshal.
Oh, okay.
Later on, this is, you know, after I landed, I'm like, I think that guy was an air marshal because he came out of nowhere. Like, hey, you need a phone?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the whole thing because the FBI was like, oh, do you want like food or something? I was like, I want to get the fuck out of here. The last thing I want, I'm not hungry. You know, I'm hungry to be home.
Yeah.
And so I ended up landing. I told the people that are sitting next to me as a couple, I told my whole story, and they're like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, that's crazy. But here I am.
Yeah.
You know, so sorry if I stink, but I haven't showered in a few days, you know. And I landed, and that girl picked me up. We got back to the Outer Banks, went to the bar. Everyone's like, dude, what the fuck happened to you? You're all tan and shit. You know, you're in the equator. And I was there for like probably like a week total, maybe. And I kind of like told my story a little bit, and like, oh, did you got fucking raped down there? You know, I'm like, no, like, you know. And nothing ever came of it. I contacted probably a month later by the FBI. They were trying to do a follow-up or something. I was like, motherfucker, well, you didn't.
Wait, that dude was your landlord, though, right?
Oh, yeah, there is more to it. I had to get my shit out of there.
Oh, you left immediately.
I got in contact with an FBI agent in the States, and I was like, I need to get my shit out of there. Like, I don't know if they know the neighbors, blah, blah, blah. He's like, let me know before you go get that shit. So I called the dude. He didn't answer. I let the voicemail, and I was like, dude, I'm about to head there to get my shit. Like, I got people that are here to help me move stuff and basically me hide out. And so we went there, got all my shit out of there, moved it to one buddy's house, moved some shit to the other person's house. I ended up staying with these one people. And then I heard through the grapevine that a fucking SWAT team showed up to that house.
Yeah. Did they snatch
looking for that dude. Well, no, he's in fucking Costa
Oh, he's
Rica.
in Costa Rica.
Yeah,
Oh,
so like
shit.
they're like, oh, what the fuck, and yeah, he wasn't there, and then that's when later on they reached out like, hey, doing a follow up on this thing, and like, hey, I was like, and I cussed him out because like, y'all didn't do fuck shit for me, blah blah, I was upset,
Yeah.
I was scared to leave the place I was staying at because they're like, oh, even if you make it back, blah blah, fucking, we own that beach, blah blah, and there is one day where that guy did ride by the house on a bicycle, and dude, I lost my shit, dude, I was terrified, dude, I was terrified.
The dad.
Yeah, I was terrified. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be completely honest. I was a bitch. I was terrified. Like the people I was living with, no one was there, and then somebody pulled up late at night, and I was behind a doorway with a bat.
You don't know.
God, dude, but it took me a while, and it was really hard for me to tell that story for a long time.
Oh, dude, that's intense, man. Especially
yeah, they threatened to like fucking kill
just
me.
Go back to Indiana, like what do you think?
I stay on the beach.
No, I'm saying in your mind though, it's like
I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do, but then I met that one girl, and then I ended up coming out this way, and then it just kind of all
Thank God you
disappeared.
came back safe, dude. I got to meet you, man. That was
yeah. They were threatening to feed me to crocodiles, all this crazy shit.
There was actually crocodiles down there.
Apparently, there's a bridge where you buy like chicken and you throw it over the fucking bridge. I don't know, but they were threatening to take me there. It was crazy. But here I am.
Throw the American over
I'm
the bridge.
34 years old now, so it was a while ago.
Thank God you made it, bro.
Yeah, that's the Costa Rica story. I probably left some bits and pieces out, but that's just
No, dude, that's crazy, man. And the whole thing I was thinking of, I don't remember you telling me that like you had to go back and deal with this fucking guy. I didn't think about it. I was like, that was your.
They called me because they wanted me to go back. And I was like, I am not going back to Costa Rica ever. I was like, I can't afford it. They're like, oh, it's a money thing. I'm like, yeah, like I can't afford it. They're like, okay. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's insane. Well, I thought about you going back to your duplex in Outer Banks. Yeah. Well, I didn't know if you had to get your stuff. Like, what kind of situation you're in to like. Could you physically move? Did you have anybody to help you, like stay at their place? And I was like, damn, this guy's about to say that he had to stay over here and live under this guy after he done all this shit to him. I was like, that's fucking.
Oh no, I vacated. I got the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
I never went back to the house except that one time.
Did you tell the other guy that was staying there, like, hey, dude, you might want to get the fuck out of here?
Oh yeah, he kind of knew what was going on, and he got the fuck out of there. I ended up staying with him and his parents.
Oh no,
because they gave me a free place to stay for a few months and let me save up money, and
that's good.
But it's kind of like around here where the beach is small, locals, so people know, and that's why I was terrified that guy found out where I lived, and
it's definitely a small place out in the Outer Banks.
Yeah, you're on like a strip of land, but
yeah.
But yeah, that all kind of transpired, and then I worked at a restaurant at the time, and then somebody that worked there, I guess, knew that family, and like, oh, what? I heard that happened to you because you didn't pay your rent. I'm like, bitch, if I didn't have fucking rent money, you think they would fucking take me to the fucking Costa Rica? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? So then I had to get, and even when I met my, the girl that brought me out this way, when I first met her, again, I didn't go out after this. I worked for just a landscaping dude, and I first met her, and she's like, oh, I'm getting some weed from this guy. Do you want to come inside? I'm like, fuck no, because I don't know who they know.
Yeah.
So.
What kind of charger you got on there? I'm going to steal this one. Like my little vape.
Yeah, do your thing.
Dude, that is fucking wow.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I have a story, I guess, so there's that one.
No, that's wild, dude.
I've always thought about, like, one day I'll go back, just for, like, a redemption.
Don't.
Yeah, I've always told myself I'll never go fucking south again.
Don't ever do that, dude. Yeah, that is wild.
I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who have had a good time in the Outer Banks or Costa Rica, but I did not have a pleasant experience.
Yeah, I
just went with the wrong people. It's nice there. Don't get me wrong. But
at what point did he think he had to abduct you? And like his son was playing both sides. That was really
yeah.
weird.
I did. Trust me. I gave up on trying to figure it out. Yeah. But they had their own thing going on. And
it's like we're just coming down here to hang out.
They basically brought me down there because the guy needed like probably more money.
Sounded like he had money.
He's like a trust fund kid. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a whole thing, but he was also an alcoholic, and I just got somehow got caught up in it all.
Oh my gosh, dude, that fucking
Just all because
sucks.
I went to one party in Indiana and met this girl,
Yeah.
and now here I am. Life's crazy. That's why I like.
Was that the first time you ever met that guy? Is when he brought up that whole thing? Whenever he came over and you smoked him up?
No, I was just meeting him for the first time. Like, I'm the landlord, blah blah, and then
Yeah.
I knew he was already in Costa Rica because the guy that I had talked to about renting a place, he's like, "Oh, they go to Costa Rica in the off season. They surf and shit." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." Didn't know what the guy looked. Then he met me, and then over time, through the summer, we hung out, smoked weed, talk shit,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
okay.
it became, "Hey, you should come to Costa Rica with us."
Yeah, that.
Because I worked all the time. He's seen me making money. He's like, "Oh, this dude's got money. He can afford this." And I don't know if that was his original plan, but that's what happened.
That's fucking wild, dude.
So, yeah. So part of me wants to go back one day, just for like a redemption thing, but maybe I already checked that box.
Now, when I moved out to Arkansas, man, I moved out with a girl, and I just had my son at that time, and we were living together, and then we had separated, and they had left me with like, a lot of bills and stuff. Of course, I wasn't the best person at the time, and I had lost that house, right, and I became homeless. And dude, there's some wild times with that, man, because I remember like, I would stay in like these abandoned houses there for a little while, and it was basically like I was just camping, like
Right.
urban camping in fucking Arkansas, dude. And I gotten into some real bad stuff for the longest time, and I was hanging out with like some of the wrongest people, dude, to ever be around. And they were doing some things like I've never been a big person on like theft, like stealing stuff, but a lot of these people I hung out with were, and I just kind of like I just kind of hung out with them, and then everyone that would come over would be like, "This guy is like, this guy's the guy they send to like make sure everything's rolling right." And I was like, "Nah, dude, I'm just kind of here, just getting high." Like I am. I don't understand why they thought I was that type of person, but dude, I remember I used to like fucking. He'd ask somebody to come over that owed him money, and he'd be like, "You, if you fucking like hit this guy, dude," it's like I'll give you like $50. And I was like, "Oh fuck, it is what it is."
Right.
He'd come over and they'd be talking to him, and I like fucking sucker punch this guy, dude, and they're like, "Oh, I fucking beat him up," and I'm just like, I'm a good person at heart, and I'm like, damn, how am I in this fucking situation where I'm just like sucker punching people for like $50, dude? Like this isn't even right.
Right.
And I really started thinking about my life, and that's when I got that little charge for sleeping in an abandoned house.
Oh shit.
And went to jail.
I remember you telling me about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were staying there, but then they flipped the script on you.
Yeah,
or whatever.
it was a weird situation, man, because I was living in that house, and the person that rented the house came up when the police were there and was like, "No, he's not supposed to be here." I was like, "Motherfucker, you're not even supposed to be here because you ain't paid the rent in fucking 4 months." I was like, "Come on now," and I didn't, I didn't say nothing about it. I was like, "I'm not going to sit here and tell the police like anybody's business." I took it on the chin.
Right.
But the fucked up thing is, the girl that I was with at the time caught the same charge I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, and it was a pretty fucked up situation on that end. But that really kind of got me out of Arkansas. Was going to jail. Basically, it saved my life. Sobering up for the little 30 days. It was a little misdemeanor crime. I think it was just like criminal trespassing is what they labeled it out to. But
Yeah.
it
Just
really,
some bullshit. Just enough to charge you with something.
yeah. And you know what my dumb ass didn't do? Go to court. So you know what they hit me with? Failure to appear. They pulled me, took me straight into jail, and yeah, that was a life saving event, honestly, at the end of the day. But when I was in jail, dude, there was like a bunch of weird people in there. I was in there for 30 days straight, and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, oh, this ain't nothing. This ain't shit. And it got so fucking boring in there, man. There were so many stupid ass people in there. Actually, 60% of the people in there were on child support. They just didn't pay
Really?
their child support.
Oh,
They
and
were
then
just
it's
in
like
jail.
they're just sitting there like, "Yeah, I can't
like-
go to work tomorrow. Pay my shit."
Yeah, I was talking to them. I was like, "Well, how are you supposed to pay it when you're in here?" And they're like, well, "I don't know." I was like, "What the fuck?"
I've
This is
thought
a
about it
good
before.
system. This is a good system. Yeah. But yeah, dude, I'd be riding around on my bicycle, just fucking homeless as hell, fucking just getting fucked up all day, dude. Not a good part of my life, but
Again, everything I feel like shit happens for a reason. You learn shit, you know.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot. I met a lot of good people along the way. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they were in a bad place, but they were still good people.
Yeah, I remember you saying you got caught with that because like, oh, you can stay here, but then they flipped the script on you, and then I guess then they considered you trespassing. Like, what do you mean? I was allowed to be here. Like, well, they said you're not. Yeah, well, that would have been nice to know.
Come to find out, the girl's ex that I had at the house that got arrested with me, her ex called the police. And that's how we got in that whole situation. That was a pretty dark time in my life. I mean, honestly, it was dark, but it was free because I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have any bills. Kind of sucked because I didn't have a place to live, but
Yeah, shelter.
yeah.
You know.
No, there weren't like any shelters. It was basically like camping. Like I was camping like with some other homeless people that were hooked on drugs and stuff, and that really wasn't a good time.
No, I do. I do remember you saying you were living out a tent there for a minute.
Got a time limit.
Oh yeah.
Dude, we would stay by these train tracks, right?
Right.
There was like a cell phone tower there. And this dude somehow got like this fucking camo netting that was like military grade and it like camouflaged the whole thing. But there was like these old train cars that were there that we used to, I'd just go up there and fuck around. We didn't stay in, we stayed in the tents.
Mm-hmm.
We'd go up there. And dude, I'm telling you, like when we stayed out there, this was like, I became homeless in the wintertime, dude. And it was like -5, -6. I almost died one night. Thank God, this dude that I knew where I was at. He just got out of jail. He's like, I was looking for you, man. I found you. He's like, good thing I did because you probably would have froze to fucking death, dude. He woke me up in the middle of the night. I was like, I was so cold, dude.
Yeah, I bet.
He woke me up. It was probably like -6, -7, dude. It gets cold as a motherfucker out there.
Yeah, I bet.
And
I'm in the mountains. Shit.
He woke me up, and he's like, "You all right, dude?" And I was like, oh, "No, I'm fucking freezing." He's like, "Come get in my car, dude. Come, you're staying in my house. Come on." And I went and hung out with him for a little bit, but he was a good dude. He wasn't.
Did you know him prior to this?
Yeah, I knew him prior to that. Yeah.
Okay, I just know some random dudes like, hey, come at my house.
You know, I met him. I actually met him on some. I met him the first time I met him. It was kind of weird because everybody was really hooked on drugs at that point, and I never really got into it a whole lot. And after that, I just kind of smoked weed at that point in my life. And after that, a lot of these guys I ran into were actually pretty decent people. He definitely saved my life on that situation. Probably wouldn't be here. I probably would have actually froze to death. Just in a random.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah. Just in a random shed, bro. They were like, and this is like a really nasty part of this story, but they were taking a lot of the dudes would be like IV users. They were using syringes, and they had like a dartboard in like the house I stayed at. Like I had a room that was just like my room, but like you out in the other part of the house, and it was like all nasty and shit. They would take like the syringes and like throw them into.
Oh my god!
That's like darts. Did you walk in and the door to the kitchen would have like 6 or 7 syringes sticking out of it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get the fuck out of here, dude. I don't know how I got in that situation and got around them people, but it was pretty fucking rough. Yeah.
Jesus, darts with syringes.
Yeah, they just use them and just throw the syringe into the wall like a dart.
Jesus
It was
Christ.
weird.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that life. I mean, growing up in Indiana, I mean, I hung out with these guys that I was young.
Yeah.
And I was just hanging out with them because they did graffiti, and I was into graffiti, and we met, and they were doing a lot of meth. I say a lot, but they were just doing it. So any amount was a lot to me.
Yeah.
And I seen plenty of it and just never touched it.
Yeah, I mean,
I just I don't know. I seen them on it, and I just because the one guy would they would smoke it. I think the one guy snorted it with his girlfriend a couple of times, but then the other dude was smoking it. I don't know if he ever snorted it, but then he started banging that shit in his arm, and it got really weird with him because like I said, we painted it all together.
oh, you see people change.
Well, I told the one day I was like, just don't bring that shit because we were gonna go to an art show in Annapolis.
Yeah.
It was like an hour drive or something, an hour and a half from our hometown. And dude, before we even left our hometown, like to get on the interstate, he's like, "Hey, pulling this Cracker Barrel." I'm like, "Oh, we getting food?" I'm like, whatever. They're fucking smoking that shit, in my car. I'm like, I told you not to bring it.
Just getting all fucked up.
I'm like, and then, you know, my one dude, he's like, hey, you know, he's like, I respect you, bro. He's like, he's already got it though, so I'm just gonna smoke it with him. I'm like, what the fuck ever. And but then we're going down the interstate 70 up to Indianapolis, and homie in the back, he's like, hey, watch out for potholes. I'm like, excuse me? He's like, well, I'm about to shove this needle in my arm.
Oh my god.
So I can see him in my rearview mirror, and guess what I did? I hit every fucking pothole I could find.
Oh, you dirty dog.
Fuck him. Told him not to bring the shit. Because allegedly he was going to give me gas money. Yeah, I never got no gas money for that motherfucker. We stopped at a gas station. He went in the bathroom to fucking shoot up.
Dude, amphetamines, like...
But that dude's my dude. You know, I haven't talked to him in... Fuck, dude. Like almost 2 years, and we just stopped texting, or he stopped replying, or I stopped replying. I don't know. He used to send me a bunch of shit, and then I try to reply to a little bit of it. And I mean, I miss the dude, but I hope he's doing all right. I heard through people back home that they've seen him. He's still alive, but they don't know what he's doing. He used to ride a bike everywhere. Now he's just walking. So I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I call his number once in a while just to see if, but it's still like inactive. So he might have a new number, but you know, maybe he's clean now and he just got a new number to get rid of all those. Because I've texted him before, and I'm like, oh, I deleted all the contacts on my phone, you know, so I don't. I guess not to call certain people.
Yeah.
But maybe people started reaching out to him, and he ended up getting a new phone number to start something new. I don't know, to get clean. But I hope he's doing all right.
Yeah. I'm telling you guys, if you have anybody that's an active drug user, reach out to them, man, because they're putting fentanyl in this stuff nowadays. I lost a good friend of mine, childhood friend, to an overdose 2 years ago. You guys play any games or anything like that, but I still have him on Steam, and his last active date was back then. I used to play games with him all the time. We lost contact for a while, and then one of my real good friends out in Arkansas, he had done a couple of tattoos on me. He had hung himself, which I think actually somebody murdered him. Honestly,
I remember you telling me about this guy.
yeah. I'll get into it on the next episode. I don't think we got a lot of time on this one. I'm going to go ahead and cut a little short here, and I'm going to pop into the next one, guys. Please keep on continuing on. Hey everybody, welcome back to the next episode. We are coming back through with this one. Just continuing on to where I picking back up on the last one. I had a friend that I guess they say he hung himself, but he was texting me and calling me about he was having problems with the guy that he was staying with. He was working the shit out of him. I think he worked on like a fishing boat or something, and he'd sent all these nasty messages to him saying that he hoped he killed himself like his dad did, and it was a bunch of nasty stuff. And come to find out, not even a month or two later, they found him where he'd hung himself. And I don't think this guy would ever do that to himself personally. But he was a pretty decent dude. Kind of, it just hurts, you know, you're dealing with these people that have, you know, it's not really, it's more mental.
I would say it's more of like a mental illness for addiction.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Like I spoke earlier about my brother, he struggled with that shit for essentially his whole life, and then he got clean. But then, like some people, I guess that dude did himself that way or didn't do it. But
Did you get on the brewski, bro?
yeah, I'm straight.
I was
And
looking around, like, damn, what's
no, I'm good. But a lot of people though they go clean for a little while,
yeah,
and they go back to it and do the same amount. I think it's probably more with like opiates or something. But
yeah.
I think like the first time I did coke, that's when I first moved to the Outer Banks, and then I was like, can you OD on this shit? No.
I don't know if you can on amphetamines.
I don't know either. I don't know how that works.
I'm not
Like,
sure.
I've like, can you OD on weed? You gotta smoke like your body weight in it to OD.
Yeah.
I've definitely smoked to a point where it was probably drinking too, where I've puked, or I've smoked so much when I first got high off weed. I just got so dizzy I puked, you know.
Oh, man, I think
And I had the munchies, so I'm like puking and eating like a fucking McDouble. You know what I mean? So
I think I've gotten to the point where I smoke so much weed that I've literally sobered up.
I eventually got to that where you get so high that you're straight. I was like, you
What
can't
the
get
hell?
you can't get no higher. You know?
Yeah, it doesn't even
Let
make
the
sense.
good times roll,
Yeah.
and then you're just like, now you're just wasting money.
Just chiefing on it.
Because I was never like a blunt guy, but I smoked blunts with people, or joints were cool, I guess. Once I finally learned how to roll them, I can't roll a joint anymore. I can't roll a cigarette, you know. I had those like the little zigzag rollers.
Oh yeah,
You know, those things, you can roll a hog leg with that motherfucker. But I was really into bowls or chillums, maybe in a bong hit.
Oh, chums are fire. Chums are kind of underrated. You never seen really a lot of people smoking on a chum.
That's where it's at, though.
Like a little square glass chillum.
I mean, I lived in Outer Banks. The one girl I was dating at the time, her friend is like, "Hey, you want to smoke weed?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, totally. I'm down to get high." And she packed me up like a little one hitter, and her little, I guess you call it chillum, is like a straight thing. Is that a chillum?
Like the cigarette style one hitter, or
Well, that I guess is like a bat in a dugout, right? Where the little fake cigarette was sitting in the thing, but it's like a little straight thing. Anyways, so we smoked that. She gives me a puff of that. She packs it. I smoke it. I'm like, all right. She packs one, smokes it, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then she puts it away. I'm like, damn, bitch, I thought you wanted to smoke, you know? And dude, you give it 5 minutes, you're high. You know what I mean?
rolling, dude.
Yeah, you're fucking. Oh my god, yeah. Got any chocolate? So, but then I obviously smoked weed and shit, or I did, and then I gave that up before the CDL.
I gave up all that stuff whenever I got this new job.
Well, because then it got to the point, I was like, damn, it's like the only thing holding me back from bettering myself and making more money is weed. Guess what? That shit gonna be there when you retire.
Yeah, I'll get rid of it now.
But now, sometimes I still get that feeling where I'm like, man, I'd like to smoke some weed, just to chill out. But then I remember the paranoia I used to get from weed.
Oh yeah, some real strong shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Well, like we spoke, like I take mushrooms once in a while, and that's all I need, just a little bit.
Yeah,
just to giggle,
Hit you a big old fat dab, dude.
Oh, dude, that dabs. That shit almost makes you feel like you're tripping.
Yeah,
Like you're like, oh damn, did I trust some acid? Like you're freaking out. You're like, you're listening to yourself talk, but then you're talking out loud. You're like, what the fuck?
Fucked up.
Excuse me.
Damn, dude.
What happened to your coworkers, man? We were vibing there for a minute. Then we
know
had
what
everyone on
happened.
call. We had like 5 people in the smoke. That was cool.
I know, yeah, they're going. I'm trying to figure out a better way to get everybody on the call. Thank you, baby.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
I'm trying to figure out a better way to get everybody on the call, and be more audio friendly.
That one phone call we had that we had to cut out, but that sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works out, or you will. I just come here and
Just talk,
drink beer and talk shit.
Yeah.
Talk about all my sorrows.
Sadness.
But
Yeah,
it's all about it's in joy and sorrow.
I would call him, but he's on call too.
Okay.
He's probably trying to get some rest.
Gum mouth or
no, fucking Orion, the northern guy.
Okay.
The northerner.
And what was the guy that popped on for a little bit and just kind of like laughed a couple times and then cut out?
Yeah, old John. Yeah, he's like, he's giggling. The guy's like, oh, jump scare. I was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, dude, that was fucked up.
You gotta tell me you got shit like that going on.
What do you think about this? I'm like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. That jump scare.
Thank you.
I bet that girl cried. You hurt that girl's feelings, dude.
No, they all know each other. She's probably used to it.
Damn.
Yeah, she's probably
Yeah, I'm a bridge troll. Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
That's another one of my pains you got over there. I gave you a few, didn't I?
Yeah, I've been offered a lot of money for that one.
What, the Rick and Morty one?
Yeah.
How much?
$100.
Damn. And you didn't take it?
Fuck no.
Did you split it, dude? I'll take 50.
Take another one?
Somebody offered you $100 for that?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, I used to have them hanging up at the store. I told them I wouldn't sell them. No, I would never sell that. Man. There's not an amount of money to. I mean, someone at like $500. I'm like, you know what, Zack? Maybe.
Yeah, $500. That's yeah. Take that shit.
I'll give Zack $100. Who paid me that? But no, that shit's fire, man. I got Austin's little coloring right here.
Damn. That's fine. I see that when I come over here, but I always forget you have it.
Yeah. Did you forget you painted it?
Sometimes. Until I see it.
You ever did any more canvas painting?
I've been working on something, but I hadn't touched it in a while, so it's just it's a bunch of weird shit. I don't know. I was starting with it. But I was using like this neon paint.
Remember the pigeons playing ping pong thing that you were rolling there for a while? You really?
Yeah, I have the original still, but I did prints of it and sold them. That was cool.
Did you make a little bit of money off of it?
I mean, a little bit, but then you know.
I notice a lot with this like social media stuff. Like you really got to keep it rolling. Like if you sold like let's just say 5 of your paintings for like the pigeons playing ping pong, like you got to really keep advertising it, dude, to keep it popping up in people's stuff. You know.
Yeah, I just I got like really into painting for a while on canvases. You know, my jam is more like spray paint on fucking rusty metal, but I did the canvas thing, and then what I really wanted to get into, I haven't done it, but I wanted to do was to start making rugs.
Rugs?
Yeah. You can buy this like special gun, and you could basically put like a projector onto this material and use this like special gun to shoot yarn and make like a rug.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that. That'd be cool.
Do you remember like those older ladies that are always sewing the rugs? Like you used to sit down like every like what is that thing those old people go to? It's like a Lions Club. And they'd be like the old ladies down there like, oh, I sewed up my rug, you know? Rugs for $100.
You're like, you know those people that sell rugs? I'm like, no, I don't.
It's like old ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they normally sell that shit though.
But there's plenty of people out there selling rugs, probably for way too much and not enough. But I had an idea for a certain type of rug I wanted to make, like a category or a genre of rug. I basically want to do like animal skulls with flowers.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, damn, that'd be good. It's like a little like throw rug, like small shit but it's like shaped cutout. You know, it's not like a square or like rectangle or whatever or circle. I guess I could probably do some of those, but it'd be like more of a shape thing. You know.
Okay.
Hey, we can make rugs one day. You know.
Hey guys,
we'll throw
selling rugs. You
You
ever see like this?
I still want to do it, but one day I'll do it.
There's these weird videos that I get hung up on. They're like not really ASMR, but it's like a nasty, dirty rug, and the guy's like pressure washing.
Yeah.
Like,
it's weird shit that people love,
Yeah.
you know, or get addicted to.
I don't know why, but it's like it pulls up and it's like, man, clean that rug up, dude. What are you doing?
Clean that right. That's what he's doing. He's trying, you know.
Yo, pop that champagne, dude.
It's not even fucking. What is it, like 10:30?
It's almost 11.
All right, well, we got an hour.
Oh, you gonna wait till midnight, dude?
That's what champagne's for. Did you text her to bring us glasses? Okay. She was like, hey, thanks. She's like, fucking drunk, pissed me off.
Yeah.
Zack gonna fall asleep on the floor again? No, ain't no Jim Beam here.
No, she
I tried to apologize. I don't know if she liked my apology, but
she fell and cut her arm last night, and I was like, yeah, I'm trying to help. I stuffed flour in it to stop the bleeding. And
what the fuck Grey's Anatomy shit you've been watching, dude?
No, that shit does work. If you ever get cut real bad, you need to stop the
flour.
Yeah, flour.
Okay.
It doesn't cauterize it because that's with heat, but flour clots it.
Yeah.
And it stops it. But
kind of like cold water.
Yeah, she went to the hospital.
No shit. How did she cut herself?
That little fucking piece of the stair you were talking about the last time you came over, like somebody's gonna fuck themselves up on that.
And she hit it?
Yeah, she hit that motherfucker.
Oh,
dude.
no. It sliced her?
Yeah, all up through there. So, yeah, fucked her up pretty good.
Oh, damn. Yeah, you should. Is it still sitting there? I didn't notice it coming up.
Yeah, it's still there.
You should just fucking yank that motherfucker out.
All fucking,
Yeah, let your uncle figure it out.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Pay my hospital bill. Yeah, you should just suit him. You're renting. You know what I'm saying? I told you to fix it.
I don't think I ever did.
Yeah, well, just say you did.
I told you. No, man, there's a lot of good art coming out of you though. Dude, I seen someone taking a picture of that mural you painted. Or did you paint that down there on Main Street, right there by Richardson's? That painting on the side of the building.
Like the mosaic thing?
Yeah, or did somebody else?
I didn't do that. No, I didn't do that.
Yeah, it was like a weird couple down there taking a picture today. I was like, what the fuck? You just taking a picture of some shit on the side of a building? I was like,
no, maybe it's, artistic,
Yeah.
There's people that take pictures of mold on the side of a building, if you take it in an artistic way,
It's a little mold.
Neglect. I don't know. You hashtag neglect. I don't know.
Anti-art,
anti-art.
How dirty it is.
Yeah. I thought about getting like a little like old school film camera. Take some pictures.
Like some Polaroids.
Not even like Polaroid, but shit you had to get developed film.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what there's some camera people out there listening, but 90 millimeter or whatever the fuck, some shit like that.
Do you remember those the ones where you took a picture and popped the picture out?
Yeah, it's Polaroid.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. You shake it.
Yeah,
shake it like a Polaroid. But it actually shaking doesn't actually do anything. But
yeah, to get you one of those and like, you imagine doing like some graffiti and like grabbing a picture with that, selling them on the side, dude.
what? Taking a picture of what?
Some graffiti and just fucking.
And then selling it?
Yeah, a little Polaroid.
Yeah, that's funny. Do you ever see those like model cars I have in my house? The model train cars?
Yeah.
That some I've painted and some I've gotten from other artists. But there was what the fuck?
It's a little rusty.
It sound like rusty. A little thick air in here. There's some like really famous, graffiti artists. Like they've had their shit like it's almost like someone like printed on the model train and selling it, almost like in a Hot Wheels car kind of package thing.
Yeah.
And he's stealing our shit, and it's like, but you can't really. It's like there's this one graffiti artist. He goes by Revoke. Okay, he's an MSK. He has this like thing where he's got all these paint cans attached, and he like can trigger all the paint cans at one time, and he does like big giant like kind of almost like zigzag weird patterns against walls.
Yeah.
And he tried to sue Nike because he did like a wall illegally, and it was like a basketball court, but he tried suing him, and like you painted that wall illegally. So really it doesn't, you can't, you know what I mean?
You can't say it's your design.
It is, but it isn't. But he's not the first person that did that either. It's like Bansky.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that guy with the rats? There was a guy that was doing rats before him.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about art, though. Like it's all been done before. It's really hard to be unique.
Yeah. And they can't really like say, "Oh, that's mine." Like that's my art. Well, guess what? Now you just did some illegal shit. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot that hasn't been done with art. You're absolutely right on that, man. Everybody's painted.
It's hard to be unique.
Yeah, everybody's definitely painted what you've painted, or not something before it, or better than it, or worse than it. It's
like graffiti. It's really hard to be unique. It's like, oh, you bite my style. It's like, how about like the first person that did graffiti? Is everyone biting that dude because he did graffiti. Like, oh, this guy put 3D. Oh, you're biting that. Like, oh, I like how he did this effect. I want to do it. Oh, so you're biting him. You know what I'm saying?
What
Like,
was the first graffiti? Was it like the fucking Berlin Wall? Bro?
I think looking back and the little bit of knowledge I have on it, there's a guy that goes by Cornbread. And I think he was, I guess, the first graffiti artist, I guess. But if you go way back, like take about caveman and shit writing on walls. But
yeah,
I think it started with Cornbread, I believe is his name. Maybe it was like Cornbread not 93 or 80. It's some weird number after, you know. There's a lot of people like, oh, I write, you know, paint 1, you know, or paint 2 or, you know, whatever the fuck. But
when did it come up like painting trains? Like, did someone just see a fucking
that was
train one day and it's like, hey, fucking.
Oh, that was probably early mid 80s, I think. Freight trains. No, okay, so like the subway shit was happening in New York, right?
Yeah.
And then I think it was probably like the late 80s, early 90s, then freight trains became a thing. And there was definitely plenty of documentaries if you search, but there's one documentary you should watch on freight train graffiti. It's called Year-Round Metal Enjoyment. I've watched it, and I waited a long time to finally watch it. It's a few years old now, but it's got the YME crew on it, and they're probably pretty sure like one of the original freight crews out there, and they're still painting to this day.
No shit.
Yeah.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
From the 80s to today.
Late 80s, early 90s. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it is really like, and the late 90s, mid late 90s. That's when I say freight trains really started popping off, and obviously the 2000s. And like I said, when I got into it in like 08, 09, like you were excited when you're, I say, you know, getting railroaded or benching some freights to see graffiti coming by. Nowadays, everybody and their sister and their brother got a fucking name. So it's more exciting to see a blank car, you know, an unpainted one, or like a repainted car.
Dude, every car you see's got something.
They're covered now.
Yeah.
I'm more in. I painting a freight. Yeah, I still do it here and there, but I'm more into the streaks. I got my little character. I write some bullshit next to it, and that's about it. You can get more just. It's a little easier to like drop a fucking marker, a paint stick, or a mark all, or you know, mean streak, whatever the fuck you want to call it, than a bag of paint. You know why? You know, I say why, but like you're gonna spend an hour or 3 or longer on painting a piece, which not knocking it, I've definitely done it. Or you just walk through shit in the daytime and just hit like 50 cars with a streak, you know.
Dude,
do whatever you want, you know. That's the beauty of graffiti, though, is the only thing to it is to do it. So you could be really shitty or really good. It doesn't fucking matter. Get your name out there. You know, there's people that hate on this one dude. And I'm not saying he's bad. I like his shit. He's all over some fucking coal cars, and he's like a train hopper and whatever. But Tubby, you know, if anybody lives in Richmond or sees a coal line and it says Tubby, you know who the fuck I'm talking about. Motherfucker, everybody. Everywhere. And I hit up my guy back home, and I show him a sticker or a flick, or he's seen something in the background of a picture I posted, and he's like, "Oh, that guy with that little character." He's like, "I met that guy." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, he's talking to my one dude. A dude used to write I guess he still writes Ozone. They're like pen pals on the internet, and they met up, and the guy rode a train out there, hung out for a while, and they painted a bridge together."
No shit, dude.
Yeah. So it's funny how like the graffiti world, like everyone's connected in a way. If you're really into it, you're connected. You know, like you go into a bathroom stall and wrote like, you know, "I hate gay people," or whatever the fuck, you know, or "I sat here all broken hearted, thought I had to shit, but I only farted." You know, it ain't really part of it, but
fuck,
you know, if you have a name and you put it out there and you do the research, like I met people through the years, and
dude,
people post my shit on the old site called Flickr.
Oh yeah, I
and
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Instagram. Like you know, if you Googled my name on there, you'd see my shit.
Dude, there's
Old stuff.
there should be like a fucking a genre of people for fucking porta-john art, bro. Some of that shit I see in there, I'm like, that's
That'd be a
bad.
funny page.
That's not
I'd
bad.
follow that page.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like that.
There's a guy I know. I don't know him, but I've seen on. I don't know if it's probably got TikTok or it's Instagram. I haven't seen it in a while, but he writes "Cum Man." CUMMAN. Cum Man.
What?
Either with like spray paint or a marker, but it's like it's no real specific style, but he just writes "Cum Man."
Just everywhere he goes.
Cum Man. I had that dude back home in Indiana, my hometown. He's drawing dicks everywhere, dude.
Yeah, that was me.
Basically, 8 equals D.
Yeah.
And dude, it was everywhere. And I say finally, but I ended up figuring out who it was through the grapevine.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, there's a skinny, little, short, skinny dude that liked playing paintball. That's who it was. Dude, like
everything down,
dude, everywhere. He was up.
Yeah.
And he just drew dicks everywhere, man. It was so fucking wild. Like, there's one building, I can't remember the street now, thinking about it. It's not 25th Street, maybe 7th. But there's a big, long metal building, and he's
Is it still there?
Dude, I don't know. I
love how they cover it up. It's just like some black
paint. They paint over top of where they painted, so it's like you just made my shit bigger.
Yeah,
you know,
like black paint. It's like a black square. It's like, yeah, that's cool. You see it in porta-johns too. It's like, oh, somebody just blacked it out. Like the porta-john company just blacks it out.
Yeah, it's like back on a freight train. You know, would you rather you getting stopped by a train? You know, my hometown is like it's a train town. You know, like there's so many main lines going through there. And it's like if you're getting stopped by that motherfucker or it stops, like wouldn't you rather like see like you're like basically being forced to watch this gallery of art or bullshit. You might see a dick or some weird crazy shit. Like people are really good artists, but they draw some weird shit. Or see some crazy shit that you can't read. Or we just like look at like blank gray hoppers or like a.
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier. I was like, do you think these companies like?
It's
probably frowned upon, but do you think?
They definitely don't want you doing it. But the big thing is don't cover the numbers.
Oh yeah,
there's markings on those trains that they need. It's like load limits, and the side of the car might say like CSXT 34856. They need that shit. It's tracking information because there used to be a phone number we had for CSX where we would call, you know, like a rainy day or something, or like smoking weed and like, hey, let's see where our cars are, and it'll be like car CSXT 3874 in Ohio or in Dayton, departing for so or so wherever the fuck California at 11:70. You could track
these shits are going all over the fucking country, dude.
Oh yeah, not all of them, but yeah, some of them. Yeah, that's why we were in Indiana. There's a lot of hoppers. They don't travel but so far, but boxcars we painted them every time we can get our hands on them.
I'm getting that
because boxcars traveled. There's different priorities and shit, but
What do they normally keep in these things, like in a boxcar?
It does everything. It doesn't. You know, it's whatever. This, that, and the other. But mostly hoppers, grain, or like
I know
plastic pellet things.
When we were out in Richmond, it was like coal.
Well, there's coal cars. You know, the coal cars are really long lines and they're boring. And a lot of people paint them now, but you know, I'd actually almost rather paint a coal line because most of the time they're blank. They got some streaks and shit on it, but you can fly over that. You know, whatever. You know, but most box cars and hoppers they're fucking painted. Majority of box cars are fucking covered in graffiti,
and people are tagging over tags, dude.
I mean, you gotta find your spot. You know, hey, if it's whack, fly over it.
Yeah, it's like somebody's painted this like 5-6 times, dude.
Yeah, and then I always tried never to paint over anybody's shit because unless I'm in a tight spot and it's like this is like a really good car I want to get, I know this motherfucker, you know, risked his freedom to paint this, you know, whack or not, you know.
Yeah, just kind of let it be, I guess, right? ever like have a? Is there ever a certain side of a car that you paint, or is it just like? Well, I'm just saying hypothetically, if you ever were to do that, like, would you just pick one side?
Yeah, whatever the clean side was,
Whatever the
or if it had
side
like
is?
a tag on it, I would paint over that. But like dope ass piece, or even like a piece, I'm probably not gonna fly over because I'm like, damn, did I bring enough paint to cover all this? Like, because there used to be a page on Instagram called "Who Went Over My Freight,"
Yeah.
and oh, dude, I was like, oh, fuck,
Did we get upset?
Well, it's kind of like you can see little clips of paint, and people flick shit, old shit, and it's like a whole thing. But
It's just that guy you used to know, just like 8 fucking equals D over like a beautiful piece. This old shitty fucking spray painted dick on the side.
yeah, I mean,
He's
there's just like whack shit, but save the clean panels. It used to be like save the clean panels, go with the whack shit, but now it's like I'd rather paint a clean car, because if you paint over some like old shit, it makes it more difficult, especially at night. And we always paint at night. Some daytime spots, but now since I lived in Virginia, like I don't think I've ever painted at night, maybe 1 or 2 times, but it's all daytime. But once you get used to painting during the day, you don't want to paint at night. I mean, it's just like
risky around here.
And I'm very simple in my colors, anyways. Like my one dude back home. I told you to subscribe to this earlier, but I hope you're listening. But we would do like a black fill, right, on a hopper, which is like gray, so you can see what you're doing. With black over gray at night, you're painting. And my motherfucker would be wearing a goddamn headlamp. Oh yeah, you might want to cut it. We're at 29.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're going to cut this and get on to the next episode.